Yo, 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 yo. What up? What up? What up? What up? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, good people? Happy Wednesday, happy Wellness and Wisdom Wednesday, day 19. We are still here, still pushing, still striving, still thriving, getting stronger. Dealing with a lot, man, dealing with a lot of emotions today. Oh man, another friend transitioned. Childhood friend, man, friend I've done a lot of things with this brother, man. Yeah, so it's been some heavy emotions today, which he makes the second friend that passed from both of my neighborhoods growing up. A few days ago, my man Stubby died. Stubby's from my block in Southside, 109-157. Um, my mother and his mother were childhood friends, right? They grew up together. And we grew up together. Obviously, I was back and forth, spent most time in Queensbridge. But whenever I would come to the block, to my grandfather's house, and then when I lived there, especially when I lived there, when I moved back to my granddad's house in Southside, we had some great times. In the mornings, we would be outside early, smoking together, man, may get a beer together, man, and just sit and chop it up. Either he coming on my stoop or I'm going in front of his house, you know what I mean, either on the stoop or just standing in front of his house, in front of the gate. They had a garden. My grandfather had a garden, right? So many similarities, man. He passed early in the week, I think Sunday or Monday, one of those days. And then today, my man from Queensbridge, Ant transitioned, man. Stubby was a little older than me. I think Stubby was like maybe 44, 45, maybe close to my sister's age, right? My sister Cleona's age. But Ant, my man from Queensbridge, was my age, right? He transitioned today, man. So I've been heavy hearted, right? Heavy hearted with the fast, with the hunger strike, with trying to make these connections, raise some money, raise some awareness, put the shit out there. Um, Work out, deal with stuff with my children, pack up. There's a lot happening at one time. And I'm so proud of myself because I'm managing it really well. I'm still doing all of the things, right? I'm streaming, I'm still working out, I'm having the conversations, I'm there for my friends, messaging and communicating, right? Still showed up to Echoes today to be part of the graduation closing ceremony. So I'm proud of myself. I'm extremely proud of myself. Let me just post this link on Facebook real quick live right now talking about healing communities. And even this, right? Like dealing with this grief. Um, One of the ways I've been able to deal with so much grief is through community, right? Like not just me having my friends, but the fact that so many of us have lost people in the funerals, although they're sad, the homegoing services are sad. Sometimes it's not that bad because like you're in community. So we're gonna talk about all of this tonight. Let me just post this thing right now, real quick. All right, on FB. Let me see, get some people to tune in. Um, but yeah, man. So that's where I'm at. Day 19. Obviously feeling a little bit tired. Well, definitely a little tired. Um, Definitely physically, right? Tired, emotionally tired. Um, I'm not hungry at all, but of course I would eat, right? Like the emotions are so big, so heavy. I was crying earlier walking from the train. I was crying on the train, crying walking from the laundromat, right? The laundry early and I was crying walking back to the house. Sit down and before I went out, just shed a little bit of tears. It shit hurts, right? It hurts because these is so many friends that I've lost, right? And I was looking at some pictures. It's some photos where like two, three, four people in the photo was gone, right? It's like two, three, four people in the photo was gone, right? And I'm like, damn, damn. Like one of my mans posted a picture of Ant when they were younger, and three of them are dead. There's four people in the picture, three of them are gone. And I'm like, damn, right? Damn, damn. And there's some photos where everybody in the photo is gone, and nobody in the photo is 50. And people in the photo died in their teens or 20s, right? I mean, CWAP died in his 20s. I came home from prison. He died. He got killed in 2020, not 2020. Well, 2005. Yeah, the 2005 June. 21, 21 years old. Got killed. Right. He's in a photo with Todd. Todd took his own life as a teenager, like 18, 19, right? So that shit hurts. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. But that's why this work matters. That's why these systems matter. Um, I didn't call anybody to see how Stubby transitioned. He was really close to my cousin, right? One of my cousins. They were extremely close. A few of my cousins actually was extremely close to Stubby. Him and I was close, but again, I moved from the neighborhood. I spent most time in Queensbridge, even though I went back, and even though sometimes I lived there for a while again. He actually grew up with some of my cousins on that side, right? So they were really close. So I'm gonna call and find out. But and I grew up with him, right? Sickle cell, man, and dealt with sickle cell for a while. Checked in last week, all right, with a brother. Like, yo, he in the hospital right now, and you know, clearly I wish I could have gone to the hospital to see him, right? I made a mental note, but then I'm like, I got all this going on, and so I didn't. Sent them love, right? Text them, right? But yeah, didn't get to see him. And this morning he transitioned, and yeah, the shit is real. It's real life, and it just makes me think two things. One, like tomorrow's not promised, obviously, right? The next moment is not promised, but we got to take better care of ourselves, right? And yes, there are some things that we are born with. There's some things that we develop young, and we got to learn. And I'm of the mind that anything developed in the body that affects the body can be remediated, right? Can be alleviated, can be reversed. And so we got a lot of work to do, man, because there's no reason possible, no reason why so many young people should be dying, should be transitioning. Like, it's 42 is still young, 43 is young, 44, 45 is young, right? Which is, again, this work is so important, man. But tonight we are talking about healing communities. We were never meant to heal alone. My man said it a couple years ago when we started the grief support group. And after a few months, we put together a brochure. He said something so fucking profound. He said, same shit, right? But his wording specifically was, we heal in community, not in isolation. And that's so powerful. And I think a great deal of us know that, right? Which is why we build community, which is why we do mutual aid, which is why we do this work the way we do it. And some people still don't understand it, right? Like therapy is great, and it can be extremely beneficial. And a lot of our pain and trauma is linked together, and we can heal, I think, faster together, man. So that's what we're gonna talk about tonight. Right, healing communities, of course, is all tied to what we're building, right? Community, the whole community aspect is the whole vibe, right? It's the whole vibe. It's all about community and bringing people together in so many various ways. We're gonna get into that, but before we do that, let us do a grounding. Please ground with me. If you are laying down, find a comfortable position. If you are sitting down, get comfortable. Allow your feet to be planted firmly on the floor beneath you, or whatever makes you feel most comfortable in this moment. If they need to be stretched out and you lean back, that is absolutely fine as well. But just get comfortable in your seat, get comfortable in your space. And just become aware of your body. Become aware of your body, of your toes, of the soles of your feet, all right? At the top of your feet. Like, just really do a body scan. Go up your body, just inside of your mind. Your ankles, your calves, your shins, your hamstrings, your quads. Just become aware of your body, your knees. Become aware of your entire body from toe to head. Become aware of your hips. Become aware of your stomach and your back and your butt and your private parts. Become aware of your whole entire body, your chest, your arms, your hands, your fingers, your wrists, your elbows, your shoulders, your neck, your head, your ears, your nose, your mouth, your chin, your cheeks, crown of your head. Become aware of your whole entire body. And then become aware of your breath. It keeps your body warm. It keeps your body connected to the spirit realm and the physical realm. Become aware of your breath. And then become aware of your organs. Become aware of your heart, and your kidneys, and your liver, and your spleen, and your stomach, and your lungs, and your esophagus. Become aware of the entire inside of your body and the outside of your body. And simply give thanks because this body has kept you, your breath has kept you still here, still present, still able to make anything happen that you desire. And there are others who we love who are no longer here. They was here last night, they're not here today. Maybe they were here a few hours ago. They're not here right now. This is very real. So give thanks for your body. Literally, you can say, thank you, body, for carrying me and for sustaining me for so long. You can give yourself a few neck rolls. Go one way and then go the other way. You can wiggle your fingers, roll your wrists, right? Roll your shoulders frontward and backwards. Oh, my bracelet. Hold on, got stuck on my jeans. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Sorry. Yeah, roll your shoulders backwards, frontwards. Right, you can lift your arms, raise them above your head if you're able to. Right, put your hands together, interlock your fingers, and just go back as far as you can. Remembering to breathe. Come back up. Then interlock your fingers and just in the prayer position, put your hands together. Just bring them down to your chest. Say thank you to life. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all for grounding with me, for being here with me on this Wednesday evening. You could be anywhere in the world, but you are here. And I'm grateful for your presence. All right. So yeah, man. We're gonna jump into it. Healing communities, man. Why we don't heal alone. All right. Again, maybe there's some people who have serious breakthroughs going to therapy. But even going to therapy, right, as a therapist, you're not alone. And a lot of the healing is done. You may get the information, you may get the knowledge, but you don't a lot of times experience. You don't get to put into practice what you learned until you're in community with your spouse, with your children, with your parents, with your friends, with your siblings, with your coworkers. Are you actually able to do the real healing, not just theorize, not just philosophize, but to actually heal, to actually experience, right? Experience makes it real, right? So I want to ask a question. This is something I often think about, and I speak about it in different ways. Have you ever been in a room and you just felt safe, extremely safe in a room? Like you could be yourself. My brother said he came to the one of my beloved brothers, not my biological brother, but dear brother of mine came to Echoes a few weeks back, right? And he was like, yo, like this room, I just feel like I could be myself. Like, and the brother said it today, right? You could be yourself. You don't have to pretend. You can actually breathe. You could breathe and feel safe. I remember one of the young participants a few years ago when he first came in and I was doing a meditation. He was like, nah, I don't close my eyes in front of people I don't know. Right? He had come from street life, gang life, incarcerated, been stabbed, almost lost his life. Right? So he had very real trust issues, right? When it came to closing his eyes around people who he did not know. Right? And although none of us were in a gang, his first time coming, I don't close my eyes. And that went on for a while. And then he started to close his eyes. He felt safe. He felt safe. And he could actually breathe. He closed his eyes. He took a breath. He joined the meditation. Right? So now what if healing wasn't something that you had to do alone? Because you don't, like, what if you knew that your healing was directly connected to your environment, into your community? And so that's what we're getting into, right? The rest of this episode, we're going to talk about why healing communities matter. So again, most people think that healing is an individual journey. Oh, I'm going on my journey. I'm on my self-healing journey. And so yes, it's personal. You got to do the work, right? It's your journey, but it's not meant to be done alone. It's meant to be built, right? It's meant to be a journey with others, with family, with friends, with lovers, right? With co-workers, right? In a park with strangers, right? Like through a class or a course. So many different ways. So many different ways. Humans are wired for connection. That's just the way we're designed. We are interdependent and interconnected human beings. Literally. We think about the brain operating on a frequency. Our frequencies are connected to each other, right? Like we are meant to heal together. Like I have a whole, again, I'm emotional, so pardon me. But I have a whole motto, right? We have a whole grief group. Together we heal. Together we heal. It's not meant to be done in isolation. Nobody's meant to heal in isolation. That's not how it works. But that's the American system, right? It got us thinking that. It got us thinking your issues, your problems, your challenges. I said it yesterday, maybe collective work and responsibility. Collective work and responsibility. We have a responsibility to ourselves, yes, but also to each other. And your problem is my problem. If you are not well, then there's no way I can be my best self. Right? Even if I feel like it for a few moments, but if you are not well, especially me personally, because I care so much about community, I can't thrive if my people are not well. I can do some great things and I can say I'm thriving, but nah, right? We're not designed to heal in isolation. But right now, a lot of people are isolated. Literally, right now, again, we see it here in New York City in the subways. We see it. We hear the stories on the news. We see it in our parks. We see it all around the world, all around the country. Right now, people are isolated. They are disconnected. They feel unsupported, and they are carrying shit alone. And they feel like they have to carry it alone because they don't want to burden no one else, right? Or the last time they opened up, people criticized them or ridiculed them. So they carry shit alone. They carry the struggle of losing a loved one, a parent, a child, a sibling alone. They carry the freaking pain of causing harm themselves, right? Like they carry that of being harmed. They carry that of being sexually violated. They carry that having a violent attack perpetrated against you. They carry that alone. A lot of people carry this shit alone, disconnected, feel unsupported, and they carry this shit alone. And they're trying to figure it out by themselves. They're trying to figure it out by themselves. So isolation doesn't just feel heavy. You feel isolated. It fucking slows your healing down. It's slow isolation as much as people, and I've learned that I've been one, so when I'm not well, I isolate. And people say that shit and wear that shit like a badge of honor. No, there's nothing honorable about, oh, I just suck it up and I mean, I like to isolate. No, there's nothing honorable about that. There's nothing that's, that's so strong. No. It's okay. And clearly we're gonna get to this later. Like it's all about your environment, the community. What type of people do you have around you? Right? What type of people do you have around you? And this is why community heals. Because when you are in the right environment, something shifts. Something shifts when you're in the right environment. You feel seen. How important it is to feel seen. You feel heard. How important it is to feel heard. And you feel understood. You feel seen, heard, understood, and you feel valued. Feel valued. You feel like you matter. Your story matters. Nobody's judging you. Nobody's ridiculing you because of your pain, because of what you're going through. And then you realize, right? Oh shit, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one who lost a mom. I'm not the only one who lost a dad. I'm not the only one who lost a child. I'm not the only one who's been divorced. I'm not the only one who felt like life was over at one point. I'm not the only one. Your community reminds you that you're not alone in your experience. Whether they can directly identify, like, yo, I went through something similar. I don't know how you feel exactly, but I went through something similar. I also lost a parent. I've also been divorced. I've also lost a sibling, right? I've also had friends killed and friends dead at a young age, right? You're not alone in your experience. And if they can't directly relate, they could just be there to support you and to give you a hug or to give you a listening ear, right? To give you a listening ear, to just be there in your presence, right? Like community reminds you that you are not alone in your experience. If I can identify, cool, I can identify. But if I can't, I'm still here to help you carry that weight. You don't have to carry it alone. You do not have to bear the burden alone. You don't. But too often, that's what this society has conditioned us to think and believe, right? And maybe some of even our own experiences has forced that. Oh, nobody really cares. Let me just do this shit alone, right? So, science behind this shit. Fucking connection impacts your nervous system. The first pillar of a healthy brain, 7 pillars of a healthy brain, the first one is L, is love. And it's not romantic love, it's not sexual, it's healthy relationships. It's relationships that are healthy. The connection impacts your nervous system. You are able to relax, right? When you feel safe with people, your body relaxes naturally. You don't got to do the practice. You don't got to do the breathing, the 4-4-6 or the 4-6-2, the 4-2-6. You don't got to do none of that. You don't got to do none of that. When you feel safe with people, your body naturally relaxes. You're not tense. You're not waiting for something to happen, waiting for somebody to do something to you. Again, I told the story of the young brother. He would not close his eyes during meditation, and he always felt like he was on edge. But after a few weeks, a few months, he started closing his eyes. He started to relax a little more. Started to draw now. He started he was always an artist, but he started to draw in the group where before he was like, got his bag on. He's just like, I'm here. But like, didn't feel safe. Didn't feel safe. Your body relaxes. And you move out of stress into regulation. You regulated your body is regulated. And so healing actually happens faster in safe environments. If you're in a safe environment, your healing happens faster for so many reasons. One, when you are able to express yourself, right, safely, right, you're able to talk about what you're carrying, you're able to talk about what you're dealing with, what you're experiencing, what your experience was, what you dealt with before. You're able to communicate that, right? You're able to communicate that. Healing happens faster, and you're able to identify if someone has a similar thing. You can, oh wow, I'm not alone. Oh, so that's how you dealt with that, or dealing with that, or not. And then yeah, man, like it happens so much faster when you're in a safe environment. Let me be clear though, because not every group is a healing community. Not every group of people is a healing community. A healing community specifically is a space where people feel safe, as I mentioned, people feel respected, and people feel supported. That is a healing community. And it's not, it had nothing to do with perfection, and it has to look perfect, and people have to talk perfectly, and it has to have all this aesthetic. No, it's just about presence. You have a healing community that meets fucking outside, right? A healing community brings some people together, right? So it's and it's not where you don't get judged in a healing community. People grow with you. They want to see you grow. You want to see them grow. Doesn't matter who shines right now, right? Doesn't matter who shines right now. People want to grow with you. People do grow with you. That's what a healing community is. People are growing together. Together we rise. Together we shine. Together we heal. And together we thrive. Very, very, very simple mantra, right? And so now it is directly connected. Everything that we're doing is directly connected to what we're building. But it's directly connected to what we're building because your nervous system, right? Your nervous system is about safety, right? The environment is about a supportive environment, right? Your identity gets reinforced by who you are around. Your identity is reinforced by who you are around. And discipline becomes easier with accountability. That's why they have these whole accountability partners now. Because you have an accountability partner, it just makes things a little easier because you can deal with different things easier, right? And so community strengthens all of that. It strengthens every single aspect of that. It strengthens your discipline, strengthens your identity, strengthens clearly your environment because that's your support system, and it strengthens your fucking nervous system. Community strengthens all of it. Extremely fucking important. Extremely important. I mentioned the other day we were talking about the education system, right? And how do they not teach how to build and maintain healthy relationships? How is that not taught? How is that not taught? Healing community. Like, how is that not taught? And so now, not only is not every group a healing community, but there's dangers of being with the wrong community. There's dangers because not all environments help you grow. Some of them keep you stagnant. Some of them send you fucking backwards. I've been there. I've been there. I've been there. I've been there. Not all environments are meant to help you grow. Nor do they help you grow. Nor do they give a fuck about your growth. And so some spaces, and this is where we could be real, some spaces reinforce bad habits. Right? We did the thing on sobriety back in February, and my homegirl was there. That's 2 months already, almost, right? And my homegirl was saying how there will be people sometimes who still try to get her to drink. She don't drink no more. Haven't drank for 2 years, right? Still people want, yo. People reinforce bad habits. People normalize dysfunction. How real is that? How many people do you know that grew up in dysfunction and it becomes normal for them? They can't function without dysfunction. They can't live their life without some type of dysfunction in it, right? And the wrong community keeps you fucking stuck. Keeps you stuck. You question yourself, you second guess yourself. You don't trust your instincts. You don't trust your own person. You don't trust your own personal judgment, right? So some spaces, they reinforce your bad habits. They normalize fucking dysfunction, and they keep you stuck exactly where you are doing the exact same shit that you've been doing. So your environment can either support you in your healing or it can delay it. That's up to you to decide, right? Like you can have like accelerated healing or you can have delayed healing. It's all about your environment, right? And the community that you're in, the community that you're a part of, the community that you frequent, right? And so this is why community building matters, right? Community building matters. And years ago, I remember when I started saying community building, it was because I realized that activism was creating like just something different that I was like, I don't know, I don't like where this is going. But community building. Because the spaces where people can heal, where people can grow, where people connect, and where people can build together. That is right now our weekly grief support group that we're doing in Queensbridge at the community center. It's a space where people have healed, people have grown, people have connected, right? A freaking relationship came out of the grief group, right? That lasted for a few years. A relationship, boyfriend and girlfriend, man and woman, came together because of the healing space, right? So you heal, you grow, you connect, and you build together. You just say, okay, what do we want to build? How do we build on this? Or do we want to build something else? Like, what's the deal? What's the deal? And so healing, like the vision of the healing community, the vision of the whole vibe, the vision of the world healing system, the vision of what we're building is not just individuals doing better. It's not this individual has grown, that individual has grown. No, but communities rising and thriving together. That's what this shit is about. That's the vision. The vision is not simply individuals doing better, but communities rising and thriving together. The whole neighborhood is rising. The whole neighborhood is thriving. Again, if there is someone who's having some challenges or some struggles, we as a community address it. We talk with them. We build with them. We offer solutions, right? And we help people. Like, cause that's a healing community. Sometimes motherfucker fall off. Motherfucker forget his practice, forget her practice, forget the shit and go off, and some situation happens. It's like, damn. Right? So that's related to healing community, related to the whole vibe. Like that's my vision, right? It's not just individuals doing better. Oh, you got your shit together. No, we got our shit together. And we doing this shit together. Right? So let me ask another question to the audience. Who in your life supports your growth? There's 2 questions. One is, who in your life supports your growth? If you can, please drop it in the comments. Who in your life supports your growth? Oh, so tired. Come on, supports my growth. My sisters. Supports my growth. Trey Brown supports my growth. My nephew supports. I got a lot of people supporting my growth, and a whole host of friends support my growth. I got a lot of people supporting my growth, and I'm so grateful. You want to say, my man. Yeah, come on and support my growth, man. My babe. Right, 100% supports my growth, and I'm so grateful. Right, but now in the second part of this question, my family and the unseen ones. Ashe Starhawk, thank you. Yeah, my family and the unseen ones. I love that. That's real, very real. Now the other part, two-part question: who supports your growth? But now, who might be holding you back? Who in your life might be holding you back? Mm. Wow. Yeah. Who might be holding you back? This is tough. I'm gonna be honest because this person, right? Sometimes a person could be both, right? They can support your growth in some ways, but then they could also hold you back in some ways. And so, my mama holds me back, right? Not that she tells me I can't do anything, not that she says she doesn't believe in me or she doesn't love me, but the energy that I get from her, right? A lot of times makes me just think old thoughts, right? It just puts me in a funny space sometimes, some things that she says, some ways that she is, right? So my mama holds me back, right? And she supports me though, right? Like it's both, like, cause she does support me. She shows up. A lot of times if I ask her, right, to show up and help with something like that, she'll show up. But then sometimes it's showing up and then it's conflict, right? Um, so yeah, and so I see both of you. Starhawk said myself, and KK said me, myself, and I love that, and that's honesty, and that's real, and that's transparency, right? And clearly, no one can hold you back, right? Like if you're determined. However, people can impact you. People can impact your negatively impact your mental health, your emotional health, how you show up. They impact your thoughts, right? And I know a lot of times as highly accountable people, we take responsibility as we should, right? But it's also very real. Like I often say, if your environment can uplift you, they can also bring you down. And so if part of your environment is responsible for your success, right? And then part of your environment, if you fail, is also responsible for that as well. And I remember coming into that consciousness many years ago, about 15 years ago, when I was like, if someone succeeds, the family, the neighborhood, they'll say, well, yo, we did it. Like you did it, but we did that. Yo, we poured in, we did that. But if someone fails, no one wants to say, oh, we did that, right? Someone goes and like if a family, they raise a child and the child grows up and goes to the Air Force or goes and becomes whatever the hell is they want to become and they do great, right? The family say, yo, we did that. Like we contributed to that. And if the person, the young man or young woman thanks the family, everybody's happy. Like, yeah, we did that. Like, I wouldn't be this without my family. So then how is the opposite not true? How is it not true that if you fail, it's also part of the community's responsibility? Just like succeeding is not all you, it's part you, it's part your community, it's part your environment, right? Even if it's not your immediate family, your immediate household, it could be a coach, it could be a mentor, it could be a teacher, it could be a classmate, it could be a coworker, right? Somebody helped you succeed, somebody helped you level up. The same has to be true on the other side. No, is the same not true on the other side? You failed, you fucked up, you holding back. It's not just you. It's the people maybe not supporting you. Maybe your children don't support you as much. So yeah, you could say, oh, it's me, myself, and I. But like, if it's not just you that's making you succeed, then I'm gonna just be honest. I don't think my perspective is not just you that's helping you fail or holding you back. It's also people in your life, right? Community, whatever it is. But I love the fucking accountability because we should take full responsibility. Because even with all of that said, clearly it's still up to you. Either way, to succeed, you got to do the thing, and if you fail, it's because you didn't do the thing, right? But environment plays a major part in that. We discussed that a few episodes ago, right? And power of the power of your environment, right? My family, my bestie, and my trade community, Tiffany Cross. Thank you so much. All right, dope. But yeah, man. And so before tomorrow, reach out to one person. This is a challenge to you all, to all of us. Reach out to one person to have a real conversation, right? Reach out to one person and have a real conversation. Or, because you may not want to do that, and that's okay. Or take a step toward building or joining a space that supports you, right? Either have a real conversation with somebody. It doesn't have to be like you telling them off or no, nothing, not real like that, right? It could be real just like where you at and what kind of support you need or where they at, and just having a real honest conversation with one person, like to build that supportive community, to build that healing community, right? Or if you don't want to do that, if you don't have the space to do that, if you don't have the capacity to do that, whatever the case may be, or you can simply take a step toward building or joining a space that supports you. And because we're in a digital age, clearly analog is always better. I'm always pushing for analog, which is why I like the grief support group. I made certain that we need to do this in person. Oh, there's no Zoom option. No, we're not doing it on Zoom. Sirens again every night. Sirens at this time, right? There's always something going on. But yeah, when we started the grief support group, I was very committed to making it in person and keeping it in person. Um, yeah, it's like in person. Analog is great. However, I understand that sometimes where you live, sometimes based on schedule, based on life, whatever the case may be. And in addition to in person, we could do digital. Digital communities matter. People talk, people text, people type, people do virtual meetings. Kimona just did a whole freaking month of 5 a.m. workouts. So she still got a couple more days to go. 5 a.m. workouts with women. That's a healing community, right? That's a healing, a community, a space that supports you. There, she did it just for women, and women are on different levels of exercise and working out. And so, like, supporting each other, shit like that, right? I'm gonna most likely in May, June, I'm gonna start a morning meditation for men, right? Morning mindfulness for men. I'm gonna start that. And I'm gonna start it digitally, virtual thing, morning meditation or morning mindfulness for men. I'm starting that shit, getting it done, right? So yeah, so before tomorrow, so tonight, right, or tomorrow during the day, before tomorrow night, have a real conversation with someone, or take one step, at least one step, toward building or joining a space that supports you. If it's a space that supports you, joining or starting, right, could be coming up with a name, could be coming up with a time, could be coming up with who you're doing it for, right? I just gave you mine, morning meditation for men, right? And so yeah, like last question said, just because they say we did it doesn't mean there was actually a we. That's a whole fact. That's a whole fact. Whole big fact. And I get that. And I relate to that 1,000%. Right. And sometimes there is a real we. My nephew graduated college. It was we. It was all of us. It was his mom, his dad, although they weren't together. It was his great aunt, which is his dad's aunt, which is my aunt, right? Me. It was his cousins. It was the cousins' cousins. It was the friends. We all helped him graduate, going down there to his theater stuff. He was at Howard, going down there, sending money, paying for lunch. It was all of us, right? So we did that shit. Like you did it. You showed up every day. You did the hard work, and we supported you. We did it. And sometimes people's family says we did it, and it's not a whole fucking we, right? It's you did that shit, and they will criticize it. Absolutely. And I think this is a very important dynamic to name and to speak about, right? Some powerful shit. It's a real powerful shit. And so the daily question, all right, daily question is, what does your ideal community look like? What does your ideal community look like? That's deep. Drop it in the comments. What does your ideal community look like? When you think about your ideal community, the community that you want to live with, community that you want to live in, right? Community that you want to be a part of. Ideally, what is that ideal community? I'm gonna type, right? My ideal community looks like a bunch of people, men and women, all striving to be their best selves in every single way possible. That's my ideal community, right? Is a bunch of men and women striving to be their best selves in every single way possible, right? We don't all have to be on the same path. I mean, on the same page, right? I'm vegan, been vegan well over 10 years. You don't got to be vegan to be part of my ideal community, right? But you also have to be striving to be your best self. And what does that mean? I don't know what that means for you. You got to determine, right? But like, just be on the path to be your best self. That is what my ideal community looks like, right? Everybody learning from each other, teaching each other, sharing with each other, and growing together. That's what this shit is about. It's about growing together, man. Like, none of us got all the answers. You ain't got the answers, Sway, right? We ain't got the fucking all the answers, man. We know what we know based on our experience, and we got so much room for growth, right? They said the more you know, the more you realize you don't know, and that's real fucking facts. KK said, each member in my ideal community is committed to their individual overall wellness and the wellness of the collective. Absolutely. 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 fucking lutely. And if anyone else is still on, please do drop it in the chat. Starhawk, if you're there, if you can, drop it in the chat. Tiffany Cross, if you're there, drop it in the chat. What does your ideal community look like? What it look like? What it look like? Right? Yeah, we're just so supportive of each other. That's my ideal community. Everybody supporting everybody. One person falls, we all lift them up. Right? That's my ideal community. No one person falls below the whole. And my ideal community also looks like when a person rises up, they don't look back to talk, but they reach back to lift up. Lift up. All right, what can I do to lift up my brothers and my sisters? We're part of the same community. We got the same goals. I know we got the same ambition. Everybody's brain chemistry and just the fortune in their life is designed differently. And so some people need a hand up. Maybe you didn't. Maybe you was able to do it on your own without family, without the support that you wish you had, and you went, right? And you broke all the barriers and you did that shit. Don't forget, right? As it was hard for you, it doesn't have to be the same hard for everyone else. I remember I used to hear parents say they want their children to have it harder than them. It's like, why? Like, because you struggled, you want your children to struggle the same way? Shouldn't it be easier for your children? Like, in some regards, right? Yes, you gotta, it has to be some type of, you gotta go through the fire, right? Yes. But that could be like orchestrated in certain ways. It could be certain things that are specifically curated that they learn and get these lessons and these wisdoms. They don't have to go through the same exact shit. They should not have to go through the same exact shit that you went through to grow, to thrive, because they may not make it. You made it. Give thanks. They may crack. They may crumble. They may take their life, take someone else's life because they can't take the fucking pressure. Everyone can't take the pressure of doing the shit on their own and going through the hardest fucking struggles. Everybody can't take that. It doesn't mean that they're weak. We spoke about this before. That's not the way the system is designed. Or the system is designed for people to crack. Not because they're weak, because it's not meant for, because community is fucking important. This shit is so important. Starhawk said, never really thought about it. Yeah, it's real, right? Like things we don't think about, right? Because we go and we deal with whatever's there. We deal with the lack of support. We deal with the lack of family. We deal with this shit. Yo, do you know I used to be so upset? And when I say my mother, right? Again, I love my mother. We have an incredible relationship now. It's so much better than it was. It's better than it ever has been. But I used to be so hurt when I used to do fucking distributions or things like that in my neighborhood. And she wouldn't come. And right outside. I remember I did a freaking whole vegetable fruit giveaway. I did a whole juice thing. I juiced and gave out free juices, and she was right in front of the building, and she would not come downstairs to help me. I had to carry the stuff downstairs. Sometimes I would collect clothes, right? I used to give out clothes to people like in the subway station. I used to get clothes from friends and like put them in garbage bags, put it in a fucking shopping cart, and literally go to different train stations. And so I gave out as many clothes as I could. And then I'm tired. I'm like, I'll go back inside, try again tomorrow. I would have bags of clothes in her closets that she barely fucking went in, right? And she would complain after 2 days. She would tell me I could hold it there. I'm telling her what I'm doing, and then she would complain, when you come to get these clothes, taking up space. I'm like, oh my, you ain't even, you know what, all right, right? So like, that's an example. Like, you got goals, you got ambition, and someone is just throwing a monkey wrench in it, right? But yeah, like ideal community. It's like ideal community. We lean on each other. If you need to keep something in my crib, you keep something in my crib. I got space, especially space I'm not using. And if I don't got space, I can make space. Right? My ideal community allows friends to sleep you can sleep at each other's house. Yo, you got a place to stay, come over here. I got you. I got space. And if I don't got space, we're gonna make space. Right? We're gonna make space. And that's my ideal community. Right? Tiffany Cross said, my ideal community would be a group of people who all support one another with the understanding that everyone has a different journey and human experience. Absolutely. Beautiful. I think me, you, and KK said pretty much the same shit, right? We said the same exact shit, just in different ways. And that's beautiful. And I love that. I absolutely love that. And so we're about to wrap this shit up, man. And just want to make sure one last thing lands. You don't got to do this shit alone. You do not have to do this shit alone. Nobody has to do this shit alone. No one should have to do this shit alone. And I'm here. I know KK's here, right? Tiffany Cross, right? A lot of people are here. They're not just us. There's people out there, many more people. Find your tribe. And it's the saying, it's like your vibe attracts your tribe. So make sure you are being a friend that you want. Make sure you are being a community member that you want to attract in your life. Make sure you are being that supportive friend. Make sure you are being that person who is putting out that good energy so that you can attract it back. because you don't gotta do this shit alone, man. Find your tribe, allow your vibe, allow your vibe to attract your tribe, and build together, man. Because real healing happens when people come together and grow together. We got a whole motto: together we rise, together we shine, right? Together we heal, and together we thrive. It's a whole motto. I say it, it's a tagline. Together we rise. That was Transform America's thing. I got it on shirts. Got it on. I had the fleece jacket. We put that shit on all over the place. Together we rise. People are saying it, and now they got it. Like people took it and put it in different places, and I fucking love it. Together we rise. The grief group. The name of our weekly grief support group is Together We Heal. Together we heal, because we heal together. We do. And the grief support group has been so beneficial to everyone who has come through. Some have come and have stayed for the duration. Some came at some point and stayed. Some came and left. Some came for years and left. Some came for a few days, a few sessions and left. It's all good. It's open always. As long as we're doing it, it's open. And when we can't do it at the space that we're doing it in now, we're going to do it in another space, right? Because this is something that I'm committed to for the rest of my life. So we heal together. Together we heal. Together we thrive. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Tomorrow we're talking about economic empowerment and growth. Tomorrow we're talking about the money, right? Economics, which is also another leg, another arm of the whole vibe. So that's what we're getting into. That's what we are getting into tomorrow. I love you all, man. I appreciate it. Let me make sure that's tomorrow, not the next day. I think that day 20 is economic empowerment, right? Man, join us tomorrow, same time, same place. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Share this live, right? It's going to be on the YouTube page. If you haven't contributed to the community, to the campaign, please contribute to the campaign. $5 matters, $100 matters, everything in between and outside of that also matters, because we need funds to really build what we are striving to build here. If you've been tuned in, we are building a whole ecosystem of human becoming, of human development, of human potential and human transformation. We are transcending, or rather blending together all of the aspects that help humans become their best selves, right? From immersive tech to neurosoul education, right? To nourishment on the ground level, Ms. Juicy, right? To the whole vibe, which is all about community activation, and so much more in between. And shit takes a lot to get done, a lot to build, to really build this shit, to build the tech, to build this, to secure spaces, to secure freaking instructors and facilitators and teachers, and to design curriculum, and to the way we want to do this shit, the way it needs to be done, costs money. The beautiful thing is that start where the fuck you at, and we're starting. I started with the grief support group. KK started with Juice and Play. I was doing Juice and Play, right? We're gonna do that. We're gonna bring that shit back. But she started with Ms. Juicy and the whole vibe. And I started with teaching meditation and mindfulness and visualization, and became a certified brain coach, and I'm teaching the whole neuroscience thing, right? So the shit is already underway. We just need to build this shit so we can impact more people, because we're impacting people already in our individual lives and our day-to-day basis. But we want to build this shit out so more people get impacted in so many ways. But listen, I love you all. I appreciate you all. Thank you for tuning in. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Bring a friend. Peace.